Today I'm going to share with you 3 desserts that are festive for the holidays and New Year's, and the last one requires only 2 ingredients, no cooking, no stirring, or even measuring. It's almost too good to be true. First up, for chocolate lovers, we've got these dairy-free and vegan truffles. They're delicious and so easy to make. Chocolate truffles are made with a thick ganache that comes together with just 2 ingredients, chocolate and non-dairy milk. Start with finely chopped, high percentage cacao chocolate. 62% to 72% cacao is best for deep, rich flavor and creaminess. Begin by weighing and finely chopping 8 ounces of chocolate. It's important to use weight measure for chocolate. This kitchen scale is cheap and does the job well. Place your finely chopped chocolate into a heat-proof bowl. Three-quarters cup non-dairy milk. Any non-dairy milk will do. I like using almond or soy. Today I'm using soy milk. Bring your milk to a simmer or almost a low boil. Immediately pour over the finely chopped chocolate. Make sure the chocolate is submerged in the milk with a little jiggle jiggle of the bowl, or pat down with a spoon. Cover it with a plate and let sit for a few minutes. Then whisk from the center out. Keep whisking until completely smooth, no bits of chocolate remain. This will take a few minutes. Test its consistency. Take a small amount, put it in the refrigerator for about 5 to 10 minutes. It should be firm but pliable too, like this. Refrigerate for about an hour until it's firm enough to roll into balls. And that's looking good. To form the truffles, scoop out a small amount with a spoon or mini ice cream scoop. Make whatever size you like. I used about a tablespoon measure. I found it easiest to use a spoon, but you can also use a mini ice cream scoop for more even sizes. Roll between the palms of your hands to form a ball. Place on a parchment-lined plate or tray. If the ganache starts melting in your hands too much, go ahead and pop it back into the refrigerator for a little bit until firm enough to work with again. These are a little rustic looking, not the most uniform shapes, but that's okay too. They have their own special charm. To finish them off, there are a few ways. The easiest is you can roll them in cocoa powder. You can also roll them in other dry coatings. Here I'm rolling in coconut flakes, finely crushed toasted almonds, freeze-dried raspberries, and of course the classic cocoa powder. I'm using Dutch processed cocoa powder for an extra rich chocolatey experience. Another option is you can coat them in melted and tempered chocolate. Here I have dark chocolate and oat milk chocolate, which I've melted and tempered. If you're not familiar with tempering chocolate, I'll have a link about that in the description below. If you don't want to deal with tempering chocolate, but you still want that rich, decadent chocolate coating, there's a third option, which is a hybrid of the two. Coat your truffles in melted chocolate and immediately roll them in cocoa powder. It will take longer for the chocolate to set up at room temperature, but you can speed it along by placing it in the refrigerator for 15 to 20 minutes. Store your truffles in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks or in the freezer for a couple of months. They're at their absolute best savored at room temperature. Look at that creamy inside. These are so delicious. Now let's make peppermint meringue cookies. Today we're going to make vegan meringue cookies. Since it is the holidays at the time of making this video, I'm going to make the cookies peppermint flavor by using fresh candy canes. Making vegan meringue is not difficult at all. You just need 4 ingredients: a half a cup of the liquid from a can of chickpeas, also known as aquafaba, a half a cup of granulated sugar, a half a teaspoon cream of tartar, and 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. You could use a standing mixer or a handheld mixer. I'm using a standing mixer here. If you're using a standing mixer, use the balloon whisk attachment. You're going to add the aquafaba to your bowl. Mix on low for a minute or so until you start to see the liquid become a little opaque, like this. Add in your cream of tartar. Gradually increase the speed to high. After about a minute or so, you should see the liquid start to become opaque and frothy. And now start to add your sugar, 1 tablespoon at a time. Reduce the speed to low to add the sugar, and then increase it to high. Beat approximately 1 minute between each addition of sugar. You'll start to see the aquafaba change color. It will start to look white and glossy, which is just what you want. The time it takes to get to stiff peaks will vary as mixers vary, and your aquafaba may be more or less viscous to start with, but generally it should take approximately 20 minutes of mixing. I've sped up the video and jumped ahead in clips to keep this video shorter. Still, I kept in more of the process because I thought you might like to see the development of the meringue. I hope you enjoy it and find this helpful. Stop and scrape down the sides of the bowl if necessary, if there's any sugar on the side of the bowl that you need to incorporate. Continue until all of your sugar has been added. And as you whisk, you'll see the aquafaba turn into meringue before your very eyes. 4 ounces of liquid turns into 5 cups of vegan meringue. Once all the sugar has been added, continue beating the meringue on high until you reach stiff peaks. I ended up getting to this stiff peak stage just about after I added all the sugar. It's time to add the vanilla. Add in the vanilla and whisk for another minute or so to incorporate. And now, the real test. It's so good. Time to smash some candy canes. Sift the crushed candy canes so that you can separate out the bigger pieces from the smaller ones. Add the smaller pieces to the meringue. I'm only using about 1/4 of the meringue that we made to make these meringue cookies. Prepare your piping bag. I'm using a round tip. Pipe the meringue cookies in. I made these about 1.5 inches, so I made them kind of small, and leave a little space in between, maybe an inch or so between the cookies. Pipe the cookies onto a parchment lined baking sheet. I'm making pretty small meringues. These are about 1.5 inches. You can make a little larger if you'd like. Put them into a preheated oven at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake them for an hour. Check them to make sure they are completely dry on the inside. They should be able to come off the parchment paper pretty easily. If you can sort of push them off the parchment paper like this, they should be good to go. If not, go ahead and put them back into the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes. And there you have it, delicious vegan meringue. You can make any time of year. Vary up the flavors. You could make a chocolate chip meringue cookie with mini chocolate chips. And last up, we have our 2-ingredient no-bake dessert, Gingersnaps and vegan whipped cream. That's all you need to make this ridiculously easy dairy-free icebox cake. You need a narrow loaf pan. Put your whipped cream in there and start to line up the cookies in the pan with a little space in between. Push them down so that you can get as many cookies in there as possible. Make sure there's enough whipped cream between each cookie. The cookies are going to absorb the moisture from the whipped cream, and that's what's going to give them a cake-like consistency. And then you're just going to add some whipped cream over the top and smooth that out. Garnish however you like. I just mashed up some more ginger snaps and added those on top. Put it in the refrigerator about 8 to 10 hours or overnight. I hope you'll try these and enjoy them. Let me know in the comments below when you do. And if you enjoy dairy-free vegan desserts like this, be sure to check out this playlist here. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.